Yes, what we will talk about today, I know not so many people will like it. So many persons will disagree with us, but if you like, disagree with us. If you like, don't disagree with us. It doesn't stop us from speaking the fact and the law the way they are. This topic deals on the right of women to inherit properties from their father's estates. This topic has is long overdue for discussion. Yeah, it's long overdue. Women have suffered grossly in the hands of people or in the hands of men in terms of their right to inherit properties from their father's estate. Under the Igbo native law and custom, a lady or a woman does not have a right to inherit from the father's properties. In fact, there is an Igbo saying that "Nwanyị adịghị enwe nwanyị adịghị azụ ana." That custom is very, very obnoxious, repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. Under the Yoruba native law and custom, women have the right to inherit from the father's estate. I don't even know the rationale behind those that made that law. Or probably because they want the ladies to concentrate in their husband's house. But a situation where a lady gets married and the husband is not well to do or has some financial burden, or the father has a lot of estate or properties that, okay, I want to give to my daughter. In the face of morality, it is wrong because the person you grew up with as a lady, you be eating together, playing, fighting for her. Oh, my sister, my sister. And when it gets to sharing of property, you remember that he is not part of your family. You should go to her husband's house. Some even go as far as beating up the lady. And so it's terrible. But we would look at it from the legal point of view. Constitutionally speaking, the Constitution says that no one can be discriminated on the basis of age, sex, or race. And the Constitution reaffirmed the right of ownership of property anywhere in Nigeria. Now, the Supreme Court, let's go through what the Supreme Court said. When the Supreme Court affirmed the right of women in the case of UKJ and another versus UKJ, this case was decided in 2014. Rose Vivor, JSC, said, no matter the circumstance of the birth of a female child, such a child is entitled to an inheritance from her late father's estate. Consequently, the Igbo customary law, which disentitles a female child from partaking in the sharing of her deceased father's estate, is in breach of Section 42, subsection 1 and subsection 2 of the Constitution, a fundamental right provision guaranteed to every Nigerian. The said discriminatory customary law is void as it conflicts with Section 42, subsection 1 and 2 of the Constitution. This decision is settled beyond all doubt. The fundamental right of a female to participate in the inheritance of her deceased father's estate is what? Sacrosanct. Now, let us also look at the provisions of Section 1, subsection 3. Let's look at Section 1 of the Constitution. Subsection 1 says, this Constitution is supreme and shall have binding force throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then, Section 1, subsection 3 now states that if any law is made which is in conflict with the provisions of this Constitution, that other law shall, to the extent of its inconsistency, be null and void. Hence, that customary law which disentitles female children or women from inheritance from their father's estates is, to the extent of its inconsistency, null and void, both in law, in conscience, moral justice, equity, and good conscience. Please let us revisit that customary law. It's different if she doesn't want. Last year, I was faced with a very serious case of the siblings shared property and brought us a particular 2 plots of land for their sister. The sister had no financial way. She barely eats. She said, okay, let me go take possession of this land, sell one, and use it to have a business of my own and build on the second one since I'm yet to get married. They refuse, that women don't have a right. They are the ones who brought her this property and gave to her. They are still the ones who have used every means. She was even beaten up until we came into the matter. So please, let's share this. Let love lead. Let law reign supreme. And let us resort less to self-help as we are in this journey of creating and liberating people from mental slavery and building a just society. Yes, in a situation where any woman anywhere is disentitled from inheriting from her father's estate, don't cry. The law is here for you. What will you do? Now, remember, this violates the provisions of the fundamental human rights. The implication is that you can bring up an action for fundamental rights in the High Court or in the Federal High Court. What you should do is not to go home and rest. Get a lawyer to start the process of the enforcement of your fundamental rights. And trust what our courts in Nigeria do. They don't shy away from this kind of cases.